Give me a little bit, I'm gonna watch Thank you for watching this video, and as always, hit the like button, share on social media, and smash that subscribe button. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you what to do with crawfish after you've had a crawfish boil. So what we used to do back in the day is we would make crawfish bisque. So a bisque is a thickened seafood soup. This one has like a crawfish dumpling. And if you have some good heads, you can put the stuffing inside of the heads and do that. So the first thing we need to do is take our boiled, peeled crawfish. So I have about a pound here. I've reserved a little bit. So I'm gonna take most of a pound. I'm gonna put it into the food processor, just like so. I'm gonna put about 3 cloves of garlic, roughly chopped up, right in there as well. I'm gonna put a little bit of bell pepper, maybe about 1/4 cup, right in there. About a 1/2 cup of celery. And I'm gonna take roughly 3/4 cup of yellow onion, which not quite all of this here. I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to pulse it up. I'm going to pulse it up till it's pretty much fine. Okay. This extra crawfish here, I'm just going to give it a rough chop. I'm not going to chop it up too small. I still want to be able to see pieces of crawfish in the stuffing. Just like so. So I'm going to take the pulsed up stuffing here and put it into my bowl. I'm going to put my chopped up crawfish into there as well. So I have a little bit of Cajun seasoning. I'm going to put that in there. And a little bit of black pepper. I'm kind of start mixing it with my hands. Real loose. Little mix up. I'm going to put 2 eggs in here as well. Kind of squish it up. And then I'm going to add some breadcrumbs to it. gonna roll these into little balls. The Cajun term for it would be a bouillette. You can kind of form it into a little bitty football shaped shape like that. Okay, so now that our crawfish balls are done, we're going to put them into the oven, 400 degrees, for 15 to 25 minutes. All right. While our crawfish balls are cooking, we're gonna make the actual soup part of our dish. So we start with half a cup of vegetable oil. We'll let that get hot. So we're gonna start by making a roux. So we have half a cup of vegetable oil. We have about half a cup of flour. Vegetable oil is gonna get hot. We'll add our flour in. Gonna give that a little stir. This roux does not need to be very dark, but it does need to have a little bit of color on it. It's gonna get most of its color in the soup from the crawfish and some tomato sauce that we're gonna add to it. So the roux itself does not have to be very dark. Once we have a light brown color, we can add 3/4 of a cup of onion. About a half a cup of celery and about half a cup of, I like red bell pepper, some red bell pepper. And stir that around. Once your Trinity is kind of sort of cooking, we can start by adding in our garlic. You don't want to add the garlic in early because the garlic will burn. Once we add the garlic in, we can add some, this is crawfish stock. So when we have the shells of the crawfish and crawfish boil, we can boil them again with some onion, celery, and garlic and end up with a crawfish stock. Or shrimp stock would also work as well. Just gonna add a little bit and give it a stir. Once I've added the stock, I'm gonna add about a half a cup of tomato sauce, or you could use tomato juice. I'm using sauce here. We're gonna let that come back up to a simmer. I have here another pound of crawfish that I'm gonna add in after this comes to a simmer. Okay, so our soup is at a nice little boil. We can let it reduce a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the crawfish in a little at a time. If it stops the boiling process, just wait for it to come back up to a boil. At this time, I like to add a little bit more Cajun seasoning, a little more Creole seasoning, whichever brand you like, and a couple of splashes of hot sauce. Once all the crawfish have been added, we're going to cut this down on low and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. While it's cooking on low, go ahead and cook up some rice. Now we have our bouillettes. They are done. They're out of the oven. They look great. We have our bisque. It is essentially done. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh green onions, not quite all of this. Save me a little bit. And I'm gonna add me some parsley, not quite all of that either. Stir around. That's looking great right there. Now very carefully, I'm going to turn this down lower. I'm going to add some of these bouillettes into the bisque. You can add as many as you like in there. For the magic of television. I'm going to take my bowl of rice, ladle me up a little bit, go right around the edge of the rice. I'm going to garnish with a little bit of green onion and a smidge of parsley. And that is crawfish bisque.